Today on Dr. Phil.
My 10-year-old son is very violent.
I will kill you. I will murder you.
He ripped that out of the banister on the stairs. You say that he really seems to have superhuman strength.
I've never seen a little child overpower a grown adult.
Do you have any doubt that he is going to seriously injure or kill someone in your family?
It will be me or his siblings.
I will choke you till you die.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life. You've never had anybody working harder to bring you to the threshold of change than right now. Well, as any parent of young children knows, getting through the day can sometimes be a challenge. But for Alicia, just getting through any given day with her 10-year-old son, Kevin, can be a nightmare, with the entire family living in fear of his next outburst. Take a look and you'll see what I mean.
Do not hit me anymore.
I will kill you. I will murder you. And I will chop off your head. I will stab you in the eyes. I will choke you till you die.
It's dinner time. Come on. Come on. We are having dinner. Now stop it.
Now, the problem is that can go on for hours, not minutes. Alicia says whenever she tries to discipline Kevin's behavior, things just go from bad to worse.
3, 2, 1. I would rather you didn't do that. That is the third one you have broken. Now please stop.
Now, if you're wondering why she would give him a weapon, she didn't give him a weapon. He ripped that out of the banister on the stairs. After years of seeking help from countless doctors and experts, she says, "I'm her last hope to get through to Kevin before his violence does real harm to herself, to her family, or some other innocent person."
Do not hit me anymore. Why are you so upset? Tell me.
My 10-year-old son, Kevin, is very violent, scary, and impulsive. I started noticing things with my son when he was about 2 and a half. His temper tantrums would last for hours, yelling, screaming, throwing tables and lamps. He kicks, punches, slaps me, pulls my hair, has tried to choke me before.
Stop hitting me. Well, you being hungry does not give you the right to hit me.
Rewarding Kevin with food right now has been the most effective approach.
I don't like spaghetti.
What's wrong with spaghetti?
I don't like it.
Recently, he's thrown a tantrum because he has not gotten his fast food.
I don't like the spaghetti.
Do not hit. No, stop hitting me.
He is very big for his age. I have to restrain him every day. He has the strength of a man. I used to be able to put him in a safe hold, but now that he's older, it's hard to do. He weighs 135 pounds. I am afraid for my life
Do not hit me.
and the lives of my girls.
Okay.
He gets very violent with them. He attacks them daily. One time I caught him choking my 9-year-old daughter in the closet. He also tried to drown her in a swimming pool. He says things that are extremely violent towards me and my daughters.
I will kill you if you listen that to other people. I will murder you. I will stab you in the eyes. I will choke you till you die.
I feel like one day he is going to be a person that goes into a mall and shoots everyone, or even to the point where he's just a serial killer. I don't want my son to be the reason for another person's death. I need this chaos out of my life.
Okay, let me just state right up front, I'm not here to throw you under the bus. You obviously have a serious problem that's not of your own creation.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
now
I do.
that doesn't mean that you haven't made some bad choices along the way, but you didn't create this problem.
No.
You say that he hits, spits, kicks, and really seems to have superhuman strength.
He does. Yeah, it's just, I've never seen a little child be able to overpower a grown adult.
And I'll tell you why that is.
Okay.
And listen, I've been doing this for 45 years, and
Yeah.
I've had times when I've had to deal with a 110-pound schizophrenic that's in a state of adrenergic arousal, and you'd swear they could pick up a Buick and throw it at you.
Yeah.
I mean, they just get in,
Scary.
adrenaline is so predominant that they just really do have unusual strength.
Yes.
This has been uncommonly disruptive to your life, right?
Oh, major. Yes.
To the point that you actually had a child, that an infant that you placed for adoption.
I did.
Tell me why.
I was afraid he was going to kill him, to be honest. He was so mean, out of control. I feared for his life, and I thought that was the best option at the time for all of us. I was already dealing with him and his sisters and trying to get him help. And so I just felt it was best for all of us.
So you've quit your job.
Yes.
You placed one of your own children for adoption to save its life.
Yes.
And the children that you have in the home, you basically have taught them to lock their doors and then barricade their doors
Yes.
so they can be safe when he goes into a rage.
Yes. And he's actually broken their door in half, like it's a wood door, and he's actually banged on it and hit it so hard that he split their door in half. That's how strong he gets.
His bio dad was abusive,
He was, yeah.
and he's since deceased.
He is, yes.
And how did that happen?
It was a drug overdose.
Okay, heroin.
Yes.
How well did he know his father?
He was in and out of his life. We got divorced when he was about a year. And then he was in and out of jail. So he didn't get to see him often. And then we had a restraining order on him in the last 2 years of his life.
Okay, so he was aware of his existence.
Yes.
But he didn't have a bond with him.
No.
It wasn't a father-son
Right.
sort of thing. Do you have any doubt that left unchecked, he is going to seriously injure or kill someone in your family?
Yes.
You believe that will happen? If something
If
doesn't
something
happen
does not intervene, yes.
to
he
derail
will.
this?
It'll either be me or his siblings.
Coming up, Alicia says it's unsafe to go out in public with her 10-year-old son. So what's it been like traveling with him to Los Angeles? We're going to talk about that. Plus, we're going to meet Alicia's sister next.
I have been bitten, hit, kicked, and punched by Kevin.
He has become very possessive over Alicia in the past year. He needs to know where she's at all the time.
And later, I want you to read something that I wrote down
This mother will be a yeah, but yes.
because I don't think she believes this is fixable.
I don't think I said yeah, but that time.
29.
Submission video should be.
Roll 41 trap.
Kevin has played a game called School Shooter. He was holding up his hand like it was a gun, and he was shooting his cousins, and they were falling down. And he would go over to them and kick them a little to see if they were dead or not. And if they would move, then he would shoot them again. He knows that gun shootings happen at school. I think it's a fantasy because he's just so obsessed with wanting to hurt someone. So I'm very worried he's capable of something like that.
Alicia says she believes that her son could hurt her entire family one day, and he's getting too big to physically restrain. Now, her sisters Angela and Amelia are also frightened of Kevin and can't help control him. They just say it's too much for them to do at this point. Take a look.
Kevin is definitely a danger to those around him.
We are having dinner. Now stop it.
When Alicia first became a mother, she was so excited and so happy. But as a mother who's constantly being beaten by your child, that has diminished.
He has become very possessive over Alicia in the past year. He needs to know where she's at all the time.
Let's get some sleep then.
And at nighttime, it's even worse because she has to sit by his bed and have her hand on his hand in order for him to even sleep. If she tries to get up and move during the night, he becomes very upset, or even have episodes where he just attacks her.
Alicia has taught her other children to lock themselves in their room to make a barricade of some sort to protect themselves from Kevin.
My sister now hides items in her house that could potentially be dangerous or threatening to other people, like butcher knives, scissors.
We do have to watch Kevin around our own children. He has thrown things around cousins to the point where they were playing one time and he threw something so hard a TV fell off the wall. I have been bitten, hit, kicked, and punched by Kevin. I do not let Kevin sleep over at my house any longer because I can't watch him while we sleep. If Kevin does not get help, he will end up killing someone. I am sure of that.
You wanna take me to?
Okay, you two have watched this a little bit from the outside because you're not there every day, all day, every minute. What do you think's going on here?
Honestly, Dr. Phil, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's something that is hereditary. I don't know if it's something that he just picked up. It just started when he was so young, and it has escalated more and more as he has grown because he's become more powerful with his body. He's able to use his weight in a bigger way.
Well, you say hereditary. Was your sister like this when she was growing up?
Certainly not.
Okay.
No.
So this wasn't something he modeled after her?
No.
There's a difference between having a temper and raging for hours, because there's the qualitative difference is the inability to inhibit your emotions. You know, everybody can get upset and they can even fly off the handle. But to maintain this for hours means there's something missing. The inability to pump the brake, the inability to stop. There's a point at which you get into a rage and you become a passenger on the rage train. And that's what's happening here, in my view. What do you think?
I kind of agree with Angela. We're kind of just lost right now. It happened at such a young age when we started to see these rages happen, that I don't know if it was the trauma at birth or if it is a genetic factor. We're just lost. We don't know the answer.
And when you say the trauma at birth, let's talk about that and what that was, because there was a potential for some ischemia of the brain due to the cord, correct?
Right, yeah, he was born 5 weeks early and the cord was wrapped around his neck, and he had to go into the NICU for about a couple, 2 or 3 weeks because he couldn't breathe on his own.
Right, and you know, that can't be ignored. So what's he been like since on the trip and since you got to LA?
The first day was very rough. He was very loud and kind of obnoxious to others on sitting in the terminal. People were looking at us and he didn't care. He doesn't normally. Since we've been here, he's been okay. If we had sisters here, I think it would be a little bit rougher, but it's just been me and him, and he likes that 100% attention.
Other than the fact that he's turned all the furniture over and ripped things off the wall and pretty much destroyed the room, did you notice anything else about his behavior? And later, I actually agree with you. You can't fix this. This is just your life. You're going to get beat on until he kills you. And that's your reality.
Yeah.
And I just don't accept that. Fill in the Blanks and my true crime series, Mystery and Murder, Analysis by Dr. Phil, are available now. On Fill in the Blanks, I go deeper into the lives of celebrities like Oprah, Dax Shepard, the Jonas Brothers, Sophie Turner, Jimmy Kimmel, Steve Harvey, and in-depth with technology, health, and science, as well as social issues, creating content to help you live your best life, like Living by Design and Relationship Reality Check, subtitled, How Much Fun Are You to Live With? With my true crime podcast, Mystery and Murder, Analysis by Dr. Phil, I look at crime cases and investigations with bizarre circumstances. I provide new insights into intriguing stories. And Robin's podcast, I've Got a Secret, dives into ways you can live the most informed and empowered life. And believe me, she cannot keep a secret. Download all of our latest podcasts for free, and don't forget to subscribe and rate the shows on Apple Podcasts and Stitcher or your favorite podcast app. There are times when he's attacked you guys, but then there are times when he goes into a rage that's just kind of not directed, but just general towards the environment. And here's an example of how Kevin behaves when he gets agitated. And this is a video from a church, and this is kind of a rec room in a church.
Right.
Let's take a look at this behavior.
No, don't you dare. Please stop. Please stop.
Okay, other than the fact that he's turned all the furniture over and ripped things off the wall and pretty much destroyed the room, which
Yes.
I'm sure that doesn't make him a favorite at the church.
No.
Did you notice anything else about his behavior during that time?
I think he was to his worn out stage. He was wearing down at the end. I feel when I see him, like, because I know his emotions. So at that point, I think he was wearing down. A lot of sound. He makes lots of noises while he's in that mode.
And did you notice that as he's winding down, and you could see he was physically running out of gas?
Yes.
But do you notice towards the end of that episode, he started getting into a very rhythmic pattern with his noises?
Yes, he does that. Yeah.
And that happens on a regular basis,
Yes.
I suspect.
Yes.
It gets very rhythmic. And I can tell you that that is a form of self-soothing. It's very rhythmic, and
Yes.
if you timed it, I guarantee you it would be to a beat.
Yeah.
It's
that's
very
what he is.
rhythmic, and that's self-soothing, and that'll mean something in a minute.
Okay.
Now, I want to take a look at this young man when he's not in a rage, and this was a little bit of an interview that was done at home. Let's take a look at a few seconds of that.
Hi, Dr. Phil. I'm
What grade are you in?
4.
Grade. What's your favorite color?
Blue and red and purple and green.
Okay. What do you think you need help with?
I don't know.
You don't think of anything that you might need help with from a doctor? What?
Doctor issues.
Like what? Are your ears gonna fall off soon?
No.
What would you need help
I need
with?
help with my sisters.
You need help with your sisters?
Yeah.
Is that what a doctor could do?
Yeah. She can take them out of the house.
Oh, well, Dr. Phil is a boy.
We can take them out of the house.
Okay. Anything else that they could help with you?
Your head is the no.
Nothing? You don't have any problems?
No. David.
Okay.
Bye, Dr. Phil.
He's in constant motion.
Yes.
His legs are moving all the time. Now he's in a swivel chair, and you put a kid in a swivel chair, they're going to swivel. I don't care who they are. But he's in constant motion.
Yes.
And the other is, you're engaging him in a very regressive manner. You're not talking to him like a child his age. You're talking to him like someone 4 or 5 years younger than he is.
I feel like his mentality is at that age, so that's why I'm so used to talking to him that way.
Yeah.
Would you guys agree that that's where his mentality is? Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't be more wrong. That's not where his mentality is. That may be where his emotional age is.
Okay, right, yes.
But that's not where his intellect is.
Okay.
And when you condescend to him in that way, then you pigeonhole him that way. All right, coming up, Alicia's boyfriend has witnessed and been a victim of Kevin's violent behavior. He's pretty frustrated about this. We'll hear what he has to say after the break.
Tape bump in now, first 41, first 41, first video.
One moment is laughing and having fun with me. The next is making threats about how he's going to kill me in my sleep.
Understood.
2, 1, effects.
6 years ago, I had another child. It was a boy. I had to give him up for adoption because I was worried how Kevin would treat him. I was very worried about his safety. It was a very hard decision, but I knew it was the right one.
Alicia says she's given up a child, a house, and a job. And yes, I said a child. It was that serious. And I understand what you say. You feared that he would kill this child.
I did.
And she's done all this to help her out-of-control 10-year-old son, Kevin. Her boyfriend, David, is currently on hold because he says he just simply can't handle Kevin's outburst. Take a look.
I've been around a boy who one moment is laughing and having fun with me. The next is making threats about how he's going to kill me in my sleep.
Please don't kick me.
I've never felt so pushed to my limits, so lost. It's like a suffocating force that's put my relationship on hold with Alicia and kept us all from growing closer together.
Hey!
I fear for his future if he's unable to control his destructive side. I worry that one day it may drive him to do far worse things. I don't want us to end up with emotional and maybe even physical wounds that are too deep to heal and memories too terrible to forget.
Well, he sounds like a very reasonable guy,
He
and
is.
he's just being realistic. So how did we get in this situation? Yeah, I've done a really deep dive into this, and one of the things I've looked at are his past medication records. Kevin has seen several doctors who were giving him various medications, including antipsychotics, since he was 5 years old. And then he was given an anti-anxiety medication.
Yeah.
Then he was given clonidine. I mean, it's just, you just go through all the different things here, and it's really, if you go through all of these, whether it's something for sleep, antipsychotic, stimulants, they're giving him speed to spool up his neocortex. Now, what happens if you don't have a neocortex that is not operating at full speed? Then that will bring it up. But if it is already operating at normal electrical activity and speed, and you give them that, now they're hyperspeeding.
Yes.
It's like pouring gas on a fire.
Right.
So you take a child that is already functioning neocortically in a normal fashion, and you start overspeeding their brain. And so now they're like, woo, I mean, that's speed, okay? Then they start giving him a sleep aid and an antipsychotic, which works against this. So you've got polypharmacy where it's just kind of like a witch's brew. You just throw everything in there and mix it around.
Yeah.
And some of these are canceling out each other. And
Yeah, he's been the guinea pig all throughout his years. It's just been.
but some of these change the brain in lasting ways because, and I need to identify, I do have a bias. I'm very, very conservative about using brain-altering medications with children. And I believe that you should use these medications only in terms of biochemical replacement therapy. So if the brain is not making something it needs, then you can supplement it for a time until it starts making what it needs to make. But that's about the only time I'm in favor of doing that. He very might well be on the spectrum. He very well might be on the autism spectrum here. I think I would look real hard at that. But I think these medications are not in your best interest. But why is he doing what he's doing? Coming up, there are 2 other young children in the house with Kevin. How are they dealing with his destructive behavior? And why is he doing what he's doing? I'm going to tell you what I think, and we're going to look at the impact on these other 2 children when we come back.
Music, go on is off.
First video in 41.
Kevin's siblings are also caught up in his rages. Trust me, they will break this code and say, if I want attention, I need to start squeaking.
2, 1, effects, ready, 41.
My other 2 children feel neglected because I'm spending so much of my time with Kevin. As a result, they started acting out themselves.
Wait! You have me right here on it.
My oldest became very depressed. She has no sense of herself. She refuses to change her clothes. She has very high anxiety. She despises Kevin. She doesn't want him to be around.
Okay, you do not need to be hitting people in their face.
She has said, I wish he would die. That way we could be a real family. I feel terrible that my children hate each other so much.
At this point, he's dominating all the time, effort, energy in the family. Would you agree?
Very much.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease, and he is squeaking.
He is, yes.
So they're sitting over there like, what, am I chopped liver?
Yeah, it is.
And so, trust me, they will break this code and say, I get it. If I want attention, I need to start squeaking.
Right.
Kevin's siblings are also caught up in his rages, but I want you to look at how they've learned not to react to his tantrums. They've just become kind of desensitized to it. Take a look at what I'm talking about.
There it goes. Okay. All right, now buckle in. Okay, I'm gonna count to 5.
I can't!
Let's see if you can buckle in half fast. 1, 2, 3.
You know, they're just like,
It's whatever it is. It's just a normal day.
everything he does is an overreaction, right?
It's very, yeah. His
Okay.
emotions are just
So this is
whack.
like killing a mosquito with a shotgun.
very.
They do that because they don't know how to do anything else. So they default to that, meaning they don't have more socially acceptable ways to express themselves or to handle a situation. Now, it's very clear to me that this is a very insecure child. He can't even sleep without you having a hand on him.
Yes.
When you see somebody that's all rage and they're angry, you think, boy, they're at their most strong, difficult. They're really at their weakest because that means they feel like a victim. And so they're fighting back. So trust me, he feels like a victim here.
He always plays victim. Like he'll hit his sisters and then he'll say, oh, she did this and so I had to hit her.
Of course, that's his role. He feels like a victim. And he doesn't have an alternative set of responses to give. This is not situation specific. He does this everywhere.
And what's frustrating with that is he's had a skills coach, which comes into the house and takes him out into the community. working with him on skills.
And your point is?
That I've tried to help him through this.
You don't understand. You don't do this for a week or a month or
this
6
is
months.
Years.
You do this until.
Right,
and
which is ongoing.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. Am I not?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just want to, I want you to read something that I wrote down to my staff before we started, just the top paragraph. Just read out loud.
Oh, I predict this mother will be a yeah, but guess, because I don't think she believes this is fixable. Yeah. She's not looking for us. I want it to be fixable, but I've lived with it for so long.
Why did I write that down, and why was I right?
Because I've lived with it for so long. I don't know.
Yeah. I wrote down, I predict this mother will be a yeah, but guess, because I don't think she believes this is fixable. And you know what I mean by yeah, but? No matter what I say, your response is going to be yeah, but.
I just wanted to give you an example of what I've tried. I'm not saying that.
No, you're doing it right now.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Fine. Okay.
No, you're doing it right now. I just said, I said you're going to be a yeah, but guest, and you said, yeah, but. I just want you to understand.
I just wanted to give an example, that's all, of what I've tried.
Yeah, but I just wanted to give an example.
I don't think I said yeah, but that time.
Yeah, but I didn't say it that time. I only implied it that time.
Exactly. So would you suggest?
Why did I write that down days ago?
I don't know.
Would you like me to read the rest of the paragraph I wrote down?
I don't care if you would like to.
No, okay.
Oh.
No, fine. We'll be right back.
Keep it going. We'll slide this and fade. Nice job, Greggy. In 5, 4,
42.
3, 2, 1. Effects ready. 42.
Alicia is a great mom when it comes to being a supporter for Kevin.
Did you shoe tight so we can go?
She's taken him to numerous doctors, physicians, counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists. She has tried everything in her power at home. She has been to multiple classes, multiple training events, but nothing works for him. And it's come to the point now where you can't discipline someone who is actively punching you or biting you or ripping out your hair, because at that point, discipline is out the window. It doesn't work anymore.
Well, Alicia says her 10-year-old son, Kevin, has been to 3 different behavioral counseling centers, has been medicated since age 4 with really about every compound that you can get, but nothing has worked.
Will you further explain to me, please?
I'm actually on your side,
well,
because
thank you.
I don't think this is over your pay grade. I actually agree with you. You can't fix this. There are neurological components here that you can't love him out of, because this is involuntary. And I said in the beginning, I'm not going to throw you under the bus here, because you didn't create this and you can't fix it. When I said that she was a yeah, but, she's just run into a wall every time she's turned around and does not really believe there is a solution here. And that's where you are.
True. Yeah.
And you just feel like this is just your life. Mm-hmm. You're going to get beat on until he kills you.
Yeah.
And that's your reality.
Yeah.
And I just don't accept that.
A woman vanished.
Why would a seemingly devoted mother leave behind her 2 young children?
Family and friends feared the worst.
Friends describe her as bubbly, you as psychotic.
Dr. Phil's exclusive interview with her ex-boyfriend.
She has to be out there.
You talk about her in the past tense, son. Why aren't you looking for her?
A new true crime podcast, Twisted Love, Mystery and Murder, analysis by Dr. Phil. Episode 1 available now on Apple Podcast and Stitcher.
Want to know what's coming up on Dr. Phil? Visit our website and subscribe to our email newsletter. You'll get weekly updates, life strategies, and Exclusive video that you won't find anywhere else.
Plus, on drphil.com, you can see sneak previews of upcoming shows. Log on today.
You need reinforcements. We're reinforcements. But we come in from a different attitude, and that is we're going to evaluate, get a baseline, and get on a program of reshaping this child's brain.
Sounds amazing.
And nothing else. I mean, you can get this behavioral coach. This child does need to learn boundaries.
Yeah.
He does need to learn boundaries. He needs to learn, at some point, we're going to appeal to his greed. That's what you do with kids and teenagers. You appeal to their greed. You teach them you can earn more than you could ever steal. You can earn more than you could ever sneak out the window and get.
Right.
If you will do what we tell you, you can get more than you could ever cheat to get.
So
You appeal to their greed. That's what they respond to.
Right.
The little cretins, that's what they respond to. So you take what you've got, but you can't do that with him until he is responding to normal cues, until he's responding to his pleasure centers, respond to the right things. And you can't do that right now because what he's doing is involuntary.
It makes
He has shut down his learning centers. He's shut down the neural pathways that allow him to learn the things he needs to learn. Does this make sense to you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Are you interested in this help?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
And you guys support doing this?
Absolutely.
And his sisters will not comprehend all of this, but trust me, they will be very glad
Oh, yeah.
for this help. Okay? We're going to get this done. That's our plan. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. All right. You know, I like to read the comments that you guys leave for me on my social media. Here's a fun tweet I saw just a few days ago from Carly. If Dr. Phil ever shaves his mustache, life as we know it will end. If that's true, your life is really sad. But Robin will not let me shave it anytime soon. The only time I ever shaved my mustache was for Oprah, and it was a one-time deal. And within 10 seconds, Robin said, no, you're already growing that back. Stay social with me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and who knows, I'll read your comment on the air next. We'll see you next time.
We'll do last looks, everybody. Last looks. Here's your producers. Jump on in and go.
Hi. So we just kind of wanted to give you an update on Eric. We've really been efforting to have him participate in any way, shape, or form. So we've asked him to fly out here. He declined. We sent him a Polycom device so he could participate. He said, you know, I don't think I can make that work. And so from the very least, we said, how about a statement? He said, I don't have a statement. And we asked if there's anything you want to say, and he said, no, ma'am. So just kind of interesting that he doesn't really have much to say and says, I don't really care what these two women have to say. I'll just find out when the show airs, which is very interesting that they're both here to fight for him.
So he's hiding out.
Yep.
To him, he's like, why waste my time? That's essentially how he sees it.
They're not going to lie to each other. They're here to tell all the truth about what's going on in the relationship.
He's been telling the girlfriend not to tell the wife that they've been sleeping together.
Let's see. Let's do it.
All right.
Thank
All
you.
right, thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Today on Dr. Phil, she's in love with a married man.
He is married, yes.
Now,
Brooklyn says that her boyfriend's wife is irrelevant.
she faces off
I don't really think I should have to explain myself.
with her boyfriend's wife.
She is here.
Do you realize that I'm not the first one?
So he's had others.
You are a fling. He wants to make our marriage work.
Stop talking to me.
He's lying to both of you. Today's going to be a changing day in your life. You've never had anybody working harder to bring you to the threshold of change than right now. Well, you're going to find this a little hard to believe, but 18-year-old Brooklyn says she is sick and tired of her mother butting into her love life and trying to ruin her relationship with her boyfriend, Eric. Brooklyn's mother, Courtney, admits she wants nothing more than to see them apart. But that's only because Brooklyn's boyfriend has 2 children and a wife.
My daughter Brooklyn is in a relationship with a married man and doesn't see anything wrong with it. It makes me disgusted. I don't understand how my daughter could do anything like this. Brooklyn is attracted to guys that are pretty much sugar daddies or the bad boys. I don't feel like Brooklyn respects herself. If she did, she would not be sleeping with a married man. I do not feel that Eric has any intention of divorcing and will ever leave his wife. All Brooklyn ever says is that I'm trying to run her life. Brooklyn said she wished Dr. Phil and Robin were her parents, and I told her that I didn't think that Dr. Phil or Robin would put up with her crap. If Brooklyn does not end her relationship with Eric, then she's not going to continue to have a support system. That includes me, that includes her whole family. If Brooklyn does not stop seeing married men, then she will get hurt because wives don't put up with that. I honestly do feel like Dr. Phil's the only one to get through to her because she does respect him more than she respects me.
Well, Brooklyn is adamant that she's not doing anything wrong and says her mother just needs to back off or she will file a restraining order against her for harassment.
My mom doesn't like that I'm dating Eric because he's still married. She's always trying to get us in trouble. It does piss me off. I've never had a close relationship with my mom. I only started to get to know my mom when I moved in with her 2 years ago. She just starts yelling at me for no reason. I feel like she's bipolar. Last year I moved out and met my boyfriend Eric. I ended up staying at Eric and his wife's house because I had nowhere else to go. The main things that attracted me to Eric was his smile and his hair. I loved the length of his hair. I did start to have feelings for Eric after a few weeks. It was around Christmas time when Eric first kissed me. One night, my mom reported me as a runaway. Police came, handcuffed me and Eric, and took us to the police station. My mom thought calling the police would break me and Eric up. She was wrong. My mom doesn't know that Eric and his wife don't interact, and they don't even sleep in the same room. Eric and I have been having sex for about 10 months. I get called a homewrecker a lot. We hold hands and we laugh like we're in a relationship. Normal boyfriend-girlfriend things, except he is married, yes. I've tried telling my mom to get out of my business, and I get back, oh, well, I'm your mom. I have to be in your business. And I'm just like, no, you don't. This is the best relationship I've ever had, and it is absolutely fantastic. I would do anything possible to keep my relationship with Eric. I'm in love with him, hardcore.
So what is it about Eric that you like?
Everything. Like his personality.
You like his hair.
Oh my God. I love his hair.
You love his hair.
I love his hair.
Yeah.
And I love like his personality, and I love the way he treats me, and really just everything. Just everything about him is just like attractive to me, except, you know, the fact that he's still technically married. That's the only thing that...
He's technically married. What does technically married mean?
They don't sleep together. They stay on opposite sides of the house, and I know that because he FaceTimes me at night, like... And they don't really even talk. Like, I've seen their text messages. I know exactly, like, what's going on. It's not like I'm blindsided by anything.
Why did you start staying with Eric?
I was originally just staying with my ex-boyfriend at Eric's house.
Her ex-boyfriend and Eric are friends.
Okay. You were able to watch Eric and his wife while you were there.
Yes, sir.
And you knew they were actively married while you were there.
Yes, sir.
So you saw that.
Yes, sir.
So you knew they were actively married.
Yes, sir.
You knew they weren't separated. You knew they were living under the same roof together.
Yes, sir.
So he's got great hair and a crummy marriage.
He doesn't have gray hair.
What?
He doesn't have gray hair.
I said great.
Oh, yes, he has amazing hair.
So you told him to leave your daughter alone.
I have told him quite a few times.
And apparently he didn't heed that.
No, he doesn't care about anything that anybody tells him.
But I don't want her in my business either. Like, it's not her business.
No. No.
I'm
And you don't
18.
think it's his wife's business either.
I didn't say that.
No, you actually did.
Well, I don't really think I should have to explain myself to her because she's tried to screw me over too, just like she has. So, like, why would I sit there and give his wife information when she's doing the same thing that she's doing?
So because we want what's best for you, that's screwing you over?
I don't want you around me.
Well, and his wife doesn't want you around good hair Eric.
That's okay. Good hair Eric keeps coming around me.
Well, but Eric's not here.
No.
Eric's not here, right?
Because she decided that she was going to anonymously call his job and say that he's on drugs, and now he's basically under the microscope and he can't leave or like even miss work.
Well, I don't think he wanted to be here.
He didn't.
He really didn't want to be here, did he?
He said that he would have.
Oh, well, if he said so, then... Well, okay, look, Brooklyn says that her boyfriend's wife is irrelevant to her because she says they were separated before these two got together, Eric and Brooklyn. Was Eric just telling Brooklyn what she wants to hear? We're going to investigate that next.
Music, no one song.
You told his wife that, by the way, my daughter's sleeping with your husband.
I did.
How'd that go over? And later, there's an old saying, if they'll do it with you, they'll do it to you.
Why are you crying?
I don't think you understand how much you actually do hurt me doing this stuff to yourself.
You're still meddling in something that you don't even need to be in.
Ready effects to 41 in 3, 2, 1, effects.
My mom has called the police on Eric and I several times.
My goal was to break them up. I really just wanted to put Eric in jail.
Recently, my mom called the police and tried to get Eric and I arrested for second-degree burglary.
When the cops came, she told them that she was on the lease, but didn't have any paperwork to back it up.
The police showed up, knocked on the door. They had their guns out. I thought I was going to be shot.
In the end, they both got out of handcuffs.
When my mom calls the police, I think she feels like it's going to push me and Eric apart, but in reality, it just brings us closer together.
Well, Courtney's daughter, Brooklyn, says that she and her boyfriend are in love, and they've even talked about marriage and her becoming a stepmother to his two children. In fact, she says they've even talked about having children of their own. Take a look.
I miss you. I said, I miss you too. I wish you were here. He said, I know, me too. Eric and I's relationship is perfect. Definitely fantastic. Eric calls me his baby girl, tells me that he loves me all the time.
Eric is pure trash, and for him to date Brooklyn openly in public is ridiculous.
We're very loving, caring, affectionate towards each other.
Eric is very disrespectful, not only towards my daughter, but I feel he's very disrespectful to his wife.
Eric buys me clothes, food, we go out and hang out together. Eric has gotten me my iPhone. He bought me my case. He has also gotten me this designer purse. He does a lot for me.
Eric spends money on my daughter that he hides from his wife, Mandy.
He does spoil me, hardcore.
Eric got a bonus check from work and told his wife, Mandy, he lost it and spent it on my daughter. Eric has a secret room in his house behind a bookshelf that Brooklyn was staying in. Eric does call that his man cave.
Eric was sneaking me in through his window every day because I didn't have anywhere else to go. Eric's kids do know about me, and they come up and they'll like hug me and give me kisses, and like it's really cute. They call me Star. It's kind of like a code name so Mandy won't know that they're talking about me.
Brooklyn has actually told me that Mandy's so stupid and she doesn't know what's going on.
Eric and I have talked about marriage one day, like way future. I think Eric will eventually leave Mandy. I'm hoping that Dr. Phil just tells my mom to butt out. I like that Dr. Phil is really straightforward and he just tells it how it is. I do. I've been watching your show for like ever, Dr. Phil.
I appreciate that. You say Eric loves you, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you say you don't really have a place to stay and you're just floating around, and he's separated from his wife. So why aren't you living with him?
Because he's trying to pay off his charges that he got back in February.
What kind of charges?
It was unauthorized use of vehicle to a minor and contributing to a minor.
And who's the minor?
Me. I was the minor.
He's got a DWI, right?
Yes, he got that last year before I ever knew him.
So he was drunk driving?
No, he wasn't driving his car. He had just gotten on his motorcycle, and that's when the police showed up.
Okay. So he was driving drunk while sitting on a motorcycle?
Well, he had just started driving the motorcycle.
Okay.
He said he wasn't even down to the stop sign yet, and I know exactly where he was at.
Okay, so he was driving?
Yeah, it's just not far, yeah.
Okay. So he should have had a DWIS, driving while intoxicated, sort of. Just a short distance. If you had been there with him, would you have gotten on a motorcycle with him to go home?
No. Not when somebody's drinking. I'm already, like, nervous to get
So
on
you
them.
do have some boundaries?
Yes, sir, I do. I do.
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Yeah, I do.
So you can't live with him because he doesn't have the money to get a place because he's paying off legal charges.
And not only that, he can't sign for an apartment either because he's had charges within the past 2 years.
Right. So where's he living?
He's staying at his house that he owns with Mandy.
Oh, so he's with his wife.
Not with her, but yeah, like, no.
It's kind of like he wasn't driving, but he was.
No, like they don't.
And he's like with his wife, but he isn't.
It's a big house. Like he stays on one side, she stays on the other. They don't really even talk unless it's about the kids.
Now, you told his wife that, by the way, my daughter is sleeping with your husband.
I did.
How'd that go over?
She was very appreciative.
She is here. So we're going to add her to this conversation after the break.
When I first met Brooklyn, I thought she was a sweet young girl, but I found out my husband Eric was cheating with Brooklyn. When I confronted Eric, he just kept denying it. I know who the liar is.
And later, has your husband ever told you that he wants a divorce?
No. He wants to have the best of both worlds. He wants his little fling, which that's what you are. You are a fling.
3, 2, 1, effects. Ready, 41.
Brooklyn's in for a huge surprise because Brooklyn does not have any idea that Mandy and I talk every day. I wrote her a note with my phone number and put it on the windshield of her car. And when Mandy called me, I told Mandy about Brooklyn sleeping in Eric's car with him, that Eric wasn't going to the places he was going. I was actually the one that informed Mandy about his job promotion and the check that he got. And then I sent her all the receipts for all the stuff he bought Brooklyn. Brooklyn doesn't have any idea that Mandy and I are secret friends and that Mandy knows everything that has been going on.
Well, Eric's wife, Mandy, says that 4 weeks ago, Courtney confirmed her biggest fear, which was that her husband is having an affair with Brooklyn. Take a look.
My husband's affair with Brooklyn is ruining our marriage. Everything that Eric tells me is a lie. When he's gone, it's because he's with Brooklyn. When I first met Brooklyn, I thought she was a sweet young girl. What I didn't know was that she was a 17-year-old runaway. In January, I found out my husband, Eric, was spending time with Brooklyn. I called the police. Eric got charged with 2 misdemeanors. One time, I discovered that Eric was hiding Brooklyn in his man cave. Here's your bookshelf door. You have to pull a certain book. It clicks. And then you push it open, and this is the room that my husband's been sleeping in. That's where Brooklyn was sneaking in and out of these windows over here. I'm gonna open one of these. Meanwhile, my sister went outside and she saw Brooklyn crawling out the window. So you could just open it and then just crawl right out here. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, Courtney, Brooklyn's mom, told me, your husband is cheating on you with my daughter. When I confronted Eric and told him I have proof, he told me that he has not ever had sex with Brooklyn. He just kept denying it. He's still just lying and denying everything. I know who the liar is. Courtney told me that Eric had got his bonus check from work. He had spent it all on Brooklyn. Eric told me he never got his bonus check. She told me that he bought her a promise ring.
I cried when he gave it to me because I thought it was sweet.
My reaction was, what on earth is he promising her? Eric is Brooklyn's sugar daddy, but he also wants to maintain his family as well. Eric still continues to lie to me, even as of 2 days ago, about taking Brooklyn to the airport to fly to LA to be on the Dr. Phil show. He denied it. I'm at the end of my rope with Eric, lying and cheating to me. He's going to have to face it head on.
Mandy, Dr. Phil, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Have a seat.
For some reason you're looking down?
No.
Okay.
I think you know everybody.
Yep. I do.
I haven't
And
seen you in a long time.
Brooklyn lived in your house, right?
Mm-hmm. I opened up my house to her. Now I'm in this situation with this girl who thinks that she's in love with my husband.
Did he tell you he was having any relationship with her at all?
No.
Do you realize that I'm not the first one?
The first what?
The first girl he's...
Well, hold on a minute. Hold on.
The first...
Has your husband ever told you that he wants a divorce?
No.
He's never said, and y'all aren't separated.
We are not separated. Sleeping in a different room in a home does not constitute as being separated.
I've seen you guys' text messages.
Excuse me. I have seen your text messages.
Cool. I'm glad you did.
Okay, so he's telling you that he doesn't have an intimate relationship with her at all?
Oh, yeah. I asked him on Monday. I told him, I know that you've been cheating on me and sleeping with her. And he said, I have never had sex with her.
And had sex with her in my house.
And why would he tell you that?
He wants to have the best of both worlds. He wants his little fling, which that's what you are. You don't know it now because you're 18 and you think you know everything. I am 16 years older than you. I was 18 once and I thought I knew everything. You are a fling. But
says the one who got married.
Listen to me.
You trapped him.
No. You
No,
listen
you
to me
didn't. You
now.
trapped him.
You listen to me. I texted him yesterday. I can show you the message. I told him, do you still love me? Do you want to fix our marriage and make it work? Question mark. And he said yes. He wants to make our marriage work.
Well, he's lying to the both of us then, so.
I guess
you just can't be mad at me then.
I can be mad at you. I am
you
mad
can.
at you.
You're
I'm
right.
furious at you.
I'm glad.
It doesn't matter if you like her or
I
not.
don't like you either.
You should still
Stop
respect
talking to me.
her.
Stop talking to me.
I don't have to.
Yeah, you do.
No.
No, actually, I
doesn't
don't.
have to stop talking to you. You need to listen.
Yeah, we'll be
You need
right
to
back.
start
My
listening.
mom. You were his first, right?
Yeah.
I'm his fifth.
I don't believe you.
That's what he told me.
A new episode of Dr. Phil's true crime podcast, Twisted Love, bringing a murderer to justice.
Mark exhibited a string of bizarre behaviors just after Michelle's disappearance.
The cloud of suspicion darkens.
Cleaning up the apartment, taking computer hard drives.
Dr. Phil digs deeper.
She and I were fighting. She was punching me.
Did you kill her?
Mystery and Murder. Analysis by Dr. Phil. Episodes 1 and 2 available now on Apple Podcasts and Stitcher.
Ready, effects to 43. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, effects. Ready, 43.
Eric got me a promise ring.
But Brooklyn picked it out.
He basically gave it to me on Valentine's Day, and it's really special to me because it promises me and him to be together.
I have seen the promise ring. She wears it every day on her wedding ring finger.
I cried when he gave it to me because I thought it was sweet.
I'm pretty sure that the promise ring is fake.
Looking down at my hand and seeing the promise ring, it makes me feel secure about my relationship.
There's no way that Eric could hide that much money from Mandy to buy a real diamond promise ring for Brooklyn.
Well, Brooklyn claims that Eric told her he is planning to divorce Mandy, who is here, but Mandy says that he's never once mentioned that he wants to divorce. In fact, she says he still claims he's just helping Brooklyn out. Now, you started to say he's had other affairs.
Yeah. You were his first, right?
Yeah.
I'm his fifth.
I don't believe you.
That's what he told me.
Okay, well, the fact that anything that comes out of your mouth is a lie, and same for him.
Okay, but let's just assume that you're not the first one that he's cheated on his wife with. Do you realize how much that cheapens your relationship with him?
She trapped him though.
No. You know, there's an old saying, if they'll do it with you, they'll do it to you.
Okay.
I mean, if he will...
No, you're the exception, right? You're the exception.
No, if he will cheat on her with you, what makes you think he won't cheat on you with her?
But it just hasn't happened yet. Why are you crying?
I don't think you understand how much you actually do hurt me doing this stuff to yourself. You say you don't want to have a relationship with me and that you don't like me, but you're still my daughter. And it still hurts.
Yeah, but you're still meddling in something that you don't even need to be in.
She's trying to show you the
You
error of
two
your
are
way.
just
Be
alike.
a mother to you.
I don't like you. I don't like you. Like,
I don't care
we're
if you
just
like me.
alike.
Well,
Yeah, I don't think you like
me,
yourself.
fine.
You don't behave as though you do like yourself, because if you did, you wouldn't let yourself be used and abused this way.
I don't feel like I'm being used.
Well, I know you don't think that. I know you don't think that, but you said in jest that you wish that Robin and I were your parents. I guarantee you there would be one message that we would have for you, and that would be value yourself enough that the standard for admission into your life by any young man would be very high, and that their credentials, their resume would not be A, that they're married with children, B, that they're cheating on their wife, C, that they're in trouble with the law. This is a person that, if they loved you, would not be letting you bounce around on the streets with nowhere to live.
Well, they do.
If I had to live in a box under a bridge, I would do it before I would let that woman want for something. Because if you really love someone, you put their interest ahead of your own. Well, just last week, Mandy received something from Eric, and it wasn't divorce papers. We'll talk about that when we come back. You've realize he's lying to both of you, right?
I just feel like you're listening to their side of the story.
No, I'm listening to both sides of the story. You don't think he's lying to you?
No.
4, 3, 2, 1, effects, ready 43.
My husband has never turned me down for sex since we've been together. In the last month, he's tried several times to make moves on me, but when Eric tries to kiss me, I pull away. Just last week, Eric wanted to sleep with me, and I turned him down. I've been denying him because I've had a suspicion for several months that he might be seeing somebody. Now that I know for sure that it's true, I want nothing to do with that. The fact that Eric is sleeping with Brooklyn makes me disgusted, betrayed, and angry. He's having an affair. Why would I want to sleep with him? That's gross.
Well, Brooklyn believes that Eric has been faithful to her during their 10-month relationship, but Mandy says, well, that's just not true.
Last weekend was my birthday, and Eric handed me this birthday card. For my wife, the love of my life, not a day goes by that I don't realize how lucky I am to be married to you. We have a love that's undeniable. After reading the card, I went to Eric and I asked him, so I'm the love of your life? We're a good couple, we can get through anything? And he said, yeah. I thought, how can I be the love of his life if he's sleeping with someone else? If he actually means these words in the card, then he needs to prove it.
He clearly is having an active sexual relationship with her, right?
Yes, and
you don't deny
she's
that,
proud
correct?
of it. No, she's proud of it.
You realize he's lying to both of you, right?
I just feel like you're listening to their side of the story.
No, I'm listening to both sides of the story. You don't think he's lying to you?
No.
He's over here telling me that he loves me. He wants our marriage to work.
Do you want to know why?
Are you just going to keep saying the same thing?
Well, because I just want to make sure you're listening, like loud and clear.
You're the only one here not listening to anyone. Go ahead.
He said he's only doing that to make you happy for now because he doesn't want the kids to be taken away from him.
Have you considered that he's telling you one thing to make you happy and then telling me one thing to make me happy so that, again, he can have his cake and eat it too?
It's really astounding to me how naive you are. I mean, he's lying to both of you. I actually made a chart of what he's telling the two of you. According to Brooklyn, both say, I love you. According to Mandy, on 11/11/19, birthday card from Eric, love that's undeniable. According to Brooklyn, 2/14/19, a promise ring and discussed marriage. Mandy's still wearing her wedding ring. So he's promising you one thing, and you're still wearing the promise that he made to you. According to Brooklyn, you spend the night together often. According to Mandy, Eric claims to be with friends out until 4 or 5 a.m. According to Brooklyn, sex often and unprotected. Eric claims to have never had sex with Brooklyn. He spoils the blank out of me. According to Mandy, barely making it by on bills. According to Brooklyn, faithful to me, not sleeping with Mandy. According to Mandy, sex with Eric 5 times this year, most recent 3 months ago. According to Brooklyn, Eric said plans to divorce Mandy. According to Mandy, has not mentioned divorce. He's lying to both of you. And guess what? He's not here. We asked him, and he said, frankly, I don't care what those two have to say.
That sounds right.
We gave him the opportunity to just make a statement, just send us a statement and declare where his loyalties lie.
Yeah, I know, you're right.
He doesn't have the
And he didn't do it.
You want to create a life with somebody. He already has a life with somebody.
Mandy says she hasn't divorced Eric
kids.
Because she wants her kids to know she has done everything to save their marriage. But is this marriage really worth fighting for? We'll talk about that next. Brooklyn, let me ask you something. Don't you honestly recognize that he's not manning up on your behalf here?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. wouldn't you feel a whole lot better about it if he had finished one relationship before he started this one? Wouldn't you feel better about it if he was above board about this whole thing, so you could say, you know, at least he doesn't degrade me by having me crawling in and out of a window like a thief in the night. At least he treats me with dignity and respect, and I can walk down the street holding my head up high. I don't have anything to hide. He's not put me in that position.
I don't.
Wouldn't you feel better about it if he didn't put you in a position of having to be the other woman?
I don't feel ashamed.
Answer the rest of it.
Like, I don't feel anything that you've mentioned. Like,
Okay, so you wouldn't want him to be clear in his loyalty to you?
I mean, I would, yes.
Okay, and
I feel like she's just saying stuff to stir up the pot.
lady, it's your pot.
That's what I'm saying.
And whatever you do with it is up to you. And look, you're going to have every option here because he is going to move on from her and change her like a dirty shirt. You know it and I know it. She doesn't know it because she still has stuffed animals on her bed. And she doesn't know that. And in her defense, she is young and naive. She really doesn't know what she doesn't know. And right now, she's got somebody blowing in her ear and telling her what she wants to hear, and she's responding to that. This is not an evil person here. She's just naive, and she's being manipulated. The decision you have to make is whether or not you want to invest the energy to try and rehabilitate this marriage or whether you don't. He didn't come here for a reason. He's a coward. Mm-hmm. Or he would have been here. And that will have nothing to do with her. And I suspect after all of this, he'll find reasons to not spend much time, if any, with her. And that's going to be very painful for you, but that's one of the lessons of life. And I hope you will learn a lesson from that and realize that if somebody really cares about you, they wouldn't leave you bouncing around on the street, and they wouldn't let you be in the awkward position you're in. I want to thank all of my guests today. Do you have a problem or situation in your life that you think I can help? If you do, then let me hear from you. Email me at drphil.com. You can tell me all about it. I'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Today's going to be a changing day in your life. You've never had anybody working harder to bring you to the threshold of change than right now. Well, my guest today looks like she stepped right out of an episode of The Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Lydia was sipping champagne in her fur hat, surrounded by her Italian oil paintings and expensive furniture in her mansion in the California hills when we met up with her and her daughters. But her younger daughter, Kim, says, look a little closer.
Today on Dr. Phil.
Not only is she going to inherit her mother's overcrowded mansion,
we're going up to the champagne room. If you can ride, why walk?
But it comes with a price. One giant mess and an older sister she calls the Royal Queen Demon Child.
It's not my responsibility to take care of Lori.
Who lives in the basement.
You make it sound like I put her in a dungeon.
No, I make it sound like what it is.
I know you're tired. I know you haven't had sleep.
I'm going to be left alone.
Lori has been bullied in school.
But she's 58. Kim says his fairy tale is more of a nightmare. Take a look.
My mom owns a mansion. It's like 6,000 square feet. My mom is a spitfire.
Okay, here's the friggin' elephant in this room.
She's like a cross between Zsa Zsa Gabor and Lucille Ball. With the hat, diamond, champagne.
We're going up to the champagne room. If you can ride, why walk?
My mom looks like she's living the high life. Behind these ornate doors, there's a completely different story. The house is a mess. Gargoyles from France, paintings from Italy, chandeliers from someplace fabulous, but then hoarders, stacks of papers and things that haven't been looked at in 20 years. She says some of the art is very valuable and other stuff is garbage, but only she knows. She walked me through the house and she said, garbage, perfect, take this, stick this under your arm. Nothing's written down. I can't remember. What makes it worse is my sister is mentally ill. She's 58 years old. She lives in a tiny portion of this house. Mom set up an apartment for her in the basement. It's all pink. Lori struggles with severe OCD.
Okay, I'm ready.
Major depression. She was never taught any basic skills. It's complete learned helplessness. She just can't do anything for herself. That she became completely isolated, unlikable, kind of like a little demon. Lori's like a royal, victimized, handicapped person. She sits in this big giant chair. She's a genius at getting to do nothing.
Because I hate that.
Okay. Yeah, that's as good as it's gonna get. She could live with my mom forever. It would be okay because they like each other. But nobody else finds Lori likable. I would rather die than have my sister live with me. I don't want to be the person that has to get my sister committed. My family situation is a crazy, sad, black comedy. I mean, what is it about the universe where you grow up in a house and the address is actually 5150? Can you see me sitting in this house with my sister and there's just me and her and all this stuff and a bunch of cats? I need Dr. Phil to help me tell my mom that it's not my responsibility to take care of Lori.
You said, I would rather die than live with my sister. That's pretty strong. Tell me about that.
There's just no way to win. There's no way to help her. You can't get her to do anything for herself. If you try to give her advice, she yells at you. It's complicated.
And what do you think's wrong with your sister? Nothing?
I think it's a combination of a very difficult beginning. I think there are real medical things that went wrong. I think she didn't come out happy and normal. And I think that from that moment, maybe even before she was born, there was like a symbiotic agreement that Mom and Lori would never cut the cord.
So this is set up where you're going to inherit this mansion along with your sister, Well, let's look at this mansion that you're expected to inherit. Your mother gave us a tour.
This house makes me feel like I'm in Italy. It makes me feel like people are dancing around. It gives me nothing but happiness and pleasure. So we have arrived into the entrance of my small champagne room. I love the clean lines of the Oriental furniture that are really quite different from the Italian. The tusks are very special. I want you to know that no elephant was harmed. These are not the tusks of a real elephant. I love the horses. They work with the tusks. Everything is a work in progress. This table, my father bought it in Italy. It's a beautiful piece of marble. I love this sink. It's real gold. It's got rose quartz handles. Look at that. Is that gorgeous? This is what I'm going to wear for the downstairs tour. So we've landed in the dining room. The beautiful detail of the craftsmanship of this gorgeous table. Obviously, if you're going to have peacock windows, you do need to have some peacock fans. My stepfather bought this ship for the family in the 1950s. I believe a Spanish galleon. These glasses are Murano glasses. The color that they make is mixed with gold. I don't know what it is about me, but I love beautiful furniture. These chairs, there's only a handful of them in the world, and there are some, I think, in palaces that Queen Elizabeth owns. These are the things I think that makes a house feel fun. This particular piece of furniture, we affectionately call it the Queen's desk, and you can leave that to your imagination as to who that belongs to. One of my favorite things that I happened to see in a window was this horse. I put him out here in the entrance, so he is my greeter. Those dogs are from Brazil. Each piece of glass has been put there by hand. I like combining whimsical with classical if they work. This has sort of a religious feel to it. It looks like something when you'd walk into church, there might be some holy water in there. In this house, however, it would probably be champagne. Beautiful view. I wish I could take the with me. I like it all.
Well, pretty complex house. I mean, a lot of things, right? She thinks you're overreacting. Take a look.
Kim's concern once I'm gone is that she would inherit the house and also have to take care of her older sister. I think Kim is playing the victim in this situation. I've done everything legally that I need to do to see to it that Kim and Lori are both secured at the time of my death. The question in Kim's mind as to what to do with the house and the things within the house. 99% of the people out there don't have all these things that you call junk. This is my life. I'm still alive. And when mama goes, mama goes. But I live my life the way I choose to right now. I love all of the collectibles, and I intend to live my life exactly the way I need to live it for me. If I was having a conversation with Kim right now, I would say, you know, get off the cross. It's occupied.
You say she needs to get off the cross, it's occupied.
Yes, I did.
So what do you mean?
Kim has so much to offer, and I think there's an awful lot in her that holds on to being the victim, because the reality is the relationship with Kim and Lori had been very difficult. It's not easy when you have one daughter that has problems that are very real problems.
She thinks this is because she is being enabled and is allowed to get by with all of this, and basically thinks while there may be some issues that are there, that she's running a con on you.
Lori has been bullied in school and all kinds of problems, and she does have a chemical problem, and I'm not hiding behind that. But what I will say is that...
But she's 58. How long has she been living back with you?
She's been back with me for 7 years. And
living in a room?
And it's, well, you make it sound like I put her in a dungeon.
No, I make it sound like what it is.
She's
living in a room.
She wants to live in, well, it's a space that has a kitchen, a bathroom, a shower, a washer and dryer, and that's because she needed some privacy. and I needed some privacy.
For 7 years? I mean, she doesn't do.
I wouldn't need it for 7 years.
Does she engage with people?
No, she doesn't. She's not good with that at all. She needs to get out of her own way.
Well, we're going to find out why Kim says this might be a case of Munchausen's. She'll explain why she says that when we come back.
Munchausen is an insecure mother who needs to make a child sick so that they could get attention. All I need to do to get attention, frankly, is to put on an eyebrow and a bra, and I get all the attention I need. My doorways are very important to me. They're beautiful. They're all beautiful. The candle holders are quite lovely. This particular piece here was bought in Sorrento along with a matching desk. These glasses I bought when we were in Germany. I know, or possibly, I think they were bought in Milan. One of the things that I love the most about this house, really the most, is the spectacular view. Even on a day like today when the rain has been out and the sun is trying to give us a little smile before we leave.
Well, Lydia's daughter Kim emailed me because she says she is terrified that not only is she going to inherit her mother's, what she describes as overcrowded and messy mansion, but also her sister, whom she calls an out-of-control demon child. Why do you say you think this is Munchausen?
I don't mean it in the way like the movies where it's like the arsenic's on the donut and then she calls herself a good mother because the kid's dying. I don't mean that.
Okay.
I think there's a type of illness that's so symbiotic where when the mother's having a great time and the daughter says, "Oh, I'm bleeding, oh," and you're like, well, but you've been doing that for 58 years. There's always something. There's always a new disease to go to the doctor and kill whatever's going on with anybody else.
Do you react to this if she comes up with these vague complaints that disrupts the flow of things?
I will say this. Look, you're the doctor. You can tell me if I have the first disease, what is it called? Munchausen by proxy.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I think that there was a symbiosis that happened when I carried Lori. I was alone. I was in a situation where I was alone morning, noon, and night.
Yeah, she's 58.
And so I get that, Dr. Phil. I really do.
But is she manipulative?
Oh, absolutely.
Like
there's no question about it.
Her stepfather's 95th birthday, she announced she had cancer.
I didn't hear that.
On the morning of the 95th birthday, which I only would have had a couple of hours to spend with her, she calls her crying. She needs to come up. Her teeth are bleeding. And she thinks it's cancer, and she sat and wrote down, "I have cancer, I have cancer." I went upstairs, and there's always an excuse.
There's truth to what you're saying, that she finds every little thing, because she doesn't have a life. And so when she tells me these little things, sometimes daily, she'll say, "Well, what's wrong with you? Well, can you just look at this rash?" And she'll say, "What do you think it is?" And I said, "It's cancer." Because why not? She thinks it's going to be cancer. I don't want to talk about it for 15 hours. I said, check with your doctor and make sure that you're not right. I mean, I do have a sense of humor. Okay? I mean, trust me, you have to have a sense of humor.
Yeah,
when
that's
you
a knee
have
slapper.
situations like this. Oh, yeah. Does she manipulate? Yes. But she's also very loving, very giving, also there's things that Kim doesn't see. Kim will see things from her perspective. She doesn't see the other thing. So, yeah, of course we
How
do.
is she giving?
Well, for example, the other day when she went to the doctor, she came back and she said, "Oh, Mommy, I know you're in a rush. I bought you a sandwich from Subway."
But you know what I think about when I hear you say that?
Sure, what? Go ahead.
I've sucked you dry for 7 years. Here's a sandwich.
I don't think she thinks like that.
No, I don't think she thinks that way, but I think that's what's happening. Coming up, we're going to meet Lori. I understand she was having some difficulty backstage with our staff earlier. So we'll see if she will join us next. We'll see.
We went to Lori to talk to her about wardrobe choices for the show today. She wouldn't even entertain the idea of changing her socks. She had blue hospital socks on.
I can't do this. Lori, what? I feel like I'm being, Lori, you're here on trial.
But you're not.
You're taping me.
This is what we're here for, to see where you're at and what you need.
We sent our hair and makeup artist down to Lori's dressing room because she didn't want to come upstairs, and once we sent them down, she refused to do hair and makeup.
No, I don't want to get my hair and makeup done. I haven't slept in a week.
But you cannot leave.
They're done
This
questioning
is not right for you to do for your life. Sit down, please.
Here, come back.
Now you sit down. Don't do that. I know you're tired. I know you haven't had sleep. And she's just getting off of medication. I want to be left alone.
And later, are you surprised that she feels that way?
Yes, I'm insulted she feels that way.
Yeah.
In fact, that's one of the reasons we don't get along.
Yeah, if you thought somebody's going to kill you, that would certainly dry up the conversation.
I don't get to see my mother very often because of my sister. It's not worth the brain damage. So when I do come to town, I stay in hotels. I've seen when the medication doesn't work, because that's the excuse. There's always an excuse when Lori, goes off the rails. When she gets mad, she gets like those cobra eyes. And I imagine she could hurt me or scare me. I don't really believe that she would kill me, but I'm not sure. If my mother wasn't alive and my sister got into an angry fit, she could maybe trip me down the stairs if she thought she could get away with it.
Well, ever since Kim's mother, Lydia, started talking about her will, Kim has been overwhelmed with the idea of inheriting what she describes as a rundown, messy mansion, along with her older sister, who Kim says is a manipulating genius. Now, Kim claims that her glamorous and spitfire 78-year-old mother is to blame for her sister's childish behavior. Take a look.
I admit that. Part of the problem is that I've done too much for Lori. I have been very enabling, and I have stopped doing that. Lori would have a problem with any future changes after I'm gone. What would she do in her life? Where would she go? I don't think Kim should have the responsibility of providing for Lori, because I think I can get that handled. Kim thinks that there is a Munchausen situation and that I don't see it. Munchausen is an insecure mother who needs to make a child sick so that they could get attention. All I need to do to get attention, frankly, is to put on an eyebrow and a bra, and I get all the attention I need. Have since I was a little girl. Thank God one of the gifts that I received was being attractive. I wish for Kim to live the way she needs to live. I wish for Lori to live in the way that she needs to live. This makes me feel like I'm living my life, and I intend to do that for another 50 years or so. And I'll drink to that.
Lori says both her mother and sister have always looked down on her because of her mental illness, as she describes it.
My relationship with my mom is very toxic. She's very overprotective. Oh, I didn't sleep very well, and I just want to go downstairs and relax.
And you just got off that medication, didn't you?
She tends to talk down to me. She makes me feel incompetent in front of people. It embarrasses me and it affects my self-esteem. She's been making me feel like this all my life. I think she does it because of my OCD and my clinical depression, and because I have emotional problems. We get along most of the time, but when we argue, it's because she gets impatient with my illness. My OCD causes me to worry about everything. My OCD causes me to check things all the time. There is always a constant fear of getting ill, getting sick, dying, that type of thing. My sister Kim always looked down on me because of my illness, and she's always been afraid of me. She's even said to my mother multiple times that she thought I was going to kill her, but that is not true. My sister Kim makes herself the victim. My fear is I might end up alone in this world and maybe end up homeless or with no one to love me, no one to care for me. I wonder how I'm going to make it. I wonder how I'm going to survive. I would say to Kim, I hope that someday we can be close and we can get along. I hope you can help me.
So how are you feeling today?
Very nervous.
We've been kind of talking, and I'm interested in knowing how you think you get along with your sister, Kim.
We're not real close. I just don't think she understands my illness.
You said you're afraid of heights, so you needed a dressing room downstairs.
Yes, I won't go upstairs.
But I was watching on film, and you were going on stairs.
If she didn't have 2 handrails, I wouldn't even be going up those.
There you are.
I don't want to see it. Oh, okay. No, I don't want to see it.
Because
I'm
you're
all
just,
hunched over.
you're not even using your cane or anything. You're just
Because I'm
zipping.
hanging on 2 handrails.
Yeah. But our stairs are not as steep as those
I saw
stairs.
your stairs. I wouldn't be here on this stage if I had to go up those stairs.
Ours are carpeted with handrails.
Doesn't matter. I wouldn't go up.
Yeah, well, I've just found that interesting. Okay, what do you do for fun?
I just usually watch a lot of television.
We actually went to visit you.
Oh, yes.
Coach Mike went to see Lori and spent some time with her. We'll take a look at that when we come back.
Oh, hi. Are they filming now?
They are, yeah.
I just want this done as soon as possible so I can leave.
Okay.
My mom keeps telling me that Dr. Phil is the only person who can help me because I want a very small life.
What do you do day to day here?
I just visit with my mom and watch television.
And later...
That's not what I was told.
Yeah, okay, well, that's why we're giving you a fact check here.
The twisted finale of Dr. Phil's true crime podcast.
Houston detectives told us that without Mark's full confession, they had nothing to hold him on. They may never have found Michelle's body, and he could have gotten away with it all.
And a trial that goes deeper into the killer's depraved mind.
He had a defense ready, and trust me, it will blow your mind.
Mystery and Murder. Analysis by Dr. Phil. Episodes 1 through 5 available now on Apple Podcast and Stitcher.
Well, Kim says she's so scared of her sister Lori that she fears for her life. Kim says Lori is a demon child that would do anything for attention, even tripping her down the stairs. But Lori says that's far from the truth. Now, their mother Lydia agrees because she says Lori has never been physical with anyone and wonders if their daughters will ever get along. You plan on killing her?
Of course not.
Plan on tripping her down the stairs?
No.
Are you surprised that she feels that way?
Yes, I'm insulted she feels that way.
Yeah.
In fact, that's one of the reasons we don't get along.
Yeah, if you thought somebody's going to kill you, that would certainly dry up the conversation. I mean, well, Mike Baer is a life coach and the CEO of Cast Centers. He wrote a New York Times best-selling book called Best Self, Be You Only Better. And I consider him the best at helping people maximize their true potential. And I asked Coach Mike to meet up with Lori yesterday, so he paid her a visit.
I'm here at the home of Lydia and Lori, and Dr. Phil has asked me to come to their house and figure out what is going on.
You're coming, Lori. I'm really tired. I know. I don't know how much longer I can hang on.
Nice to meet you. I'm Mike.
Oh, hi. Are they filming now?
They are, yeah.
I just want this done as soon as possible so I can leave.
Yeah.
Good.
So tell me a little bit about you.
My mom keeps telling me that Dr. Phil is the only person who can help me because I want a very small life. The only thing I want to do is to fall in love again, maybe have a few more friends, have a home by the water.
What do you do day to day here?
I just visit with my mom and watch television. I was in a common law marriage for 30 years, and my husband died 7 years ago, and then I moved in with my mom.
And are you actively doing anything to meet men?
Not at the moment.
No. And when was the last time you did?
I haven't.
And what type of men do you like? Like when you
Someone
say fall
who's
in love?
kind, caring, childlike. The only thing I want is just to meet somebody and...
For sure. And there's like, over here's meeting someone, and then there's like all the steps to get there, right?
Yeah.
Because Amazon doesn't give those in delivery yet.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bad joke, but...
I don't know what that means.
Oh, Amazon is a delivery service.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't order anything off Amazon.
I don't have a computer, I don't want one. And...
The TV serves its purpose.
Yes.
Exactly. So, talk to me about what it's like to live with OCD.
The OCD affects my life by making me worry constantly about everything.
Has it progressed for you?
It's gotten a little worse as I've gotten older.
What's worse today than maybe what was?
It just made me feel hopeless, scared.
Hopeless,
Yeah,
okay.
sad. I'm on some very serious medication, and if I don't get these medications every single day, I will die.
The whole intention of this is to help you, not hurt you. You know you need more connection with people, right?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you have this part of you that's
I'm
like...
a very private person. I like to be alone.
You say you watch TV, so what do you like to watch on TV?
Laverne and Shirley. I just constantly have the TV going. Even if I don't watch it, it's on.
It's almost like medicating.
Yeah.
If it would be nice to have more friends and fall in love, what do you think will need to shift?
Probably for me to get out of my room and go places to make friends.
Yeah, because unless there's a robbery and someone comes in, I don't know how you're going to meet a man.
Yeah.
And so we'll sit down with Dr. Phil and talk about what decisions you need to make.
I mean, like when I met my husband, we fell in love right away, and I didn't need Dr. Phil's help to do that.
Well, I think you're in a different spot now. Can you tell me a little bit about with your mom and sister's dynamic?
Well, my mom basically has damaged me by overprotecting me all my life. My sister has always been judgmental and has treated me very badly because of my OCD and my depression.
What do you think it'll take to improve that?
I think they need to change.
And so we're gonna sit down with Dr. Phil, present it to him, and see what he has to say.
Okay.
When Lori left the house, she hobbled, hunched over with her cane, and I got the impression that she really takes on the role of being just so weak, so sick, incapable, and just overall wanting to be left alone. I just sat down with your daughter, Lori. What do you wish was different?
I wish that, first of all, my daughters were together in terms of at least being able to be pleasant to one another and maybe down the line actually get to know each other and like each other.
And so if you could wave a magic wand, what would things look like for Lori?
I think that Lori needs to be away from Mom, who is right here if she has a problem and just can come upstairs. In order to get well, she might have to turn Laverne and Shirley off and do something for herself.
I'll go back to Dr. Phil and tell him what we spoke about.
I'll drink to that, Mike.
So I'll fist bump it to that.
All right, there you go.
How did you find your conversation with Coach Mike?
It's okay.
You were like in a hurry, so I need to get this over with here.
Yeah,
what were you? What were you busy with? What were you in a hurry to get to?
I was told by all of my psychiatrists if I don't get these medications every single night,
That you'll die?
Yes.
Dr. Sophie?
Yes, sir.
Are there medications that if you miss a dose, you die? How did you find your conversation with Coach Mike? What were you busy with? What were you in a hurry to get to?
Well, I don't sleep well at night, and I was just tired. I just wanted to rest.
Okay. Did anything she said to Coach Mike jump out at you?
In terms of...
Well, like, for example, she said there's medications I'm taking that if I don't take them, I'll die.
Well, I don't know if she was told that by a doctor.
I was told that by all my psychiatrists.
So I don't know if that's factual or not, Dr.
It
Phil.
is true.
So I don't know what she was told as far as that goes.
Really?
I was told by all of my psychiatrists if I don't get these medications every single night,
That you'll die?
Yes.
You miss a dose, you're
Yes.
dead.
Yes.
I want to introduce Dr. Charles Sophie as a board-certified and licensed psychiatrist. He is really steeped in psychopharmacology. Dr. Sophie?
Yes, sir.
Are there medications that if you miss a dose, you die?
Not that I'm aware of.
Is there anything, I mean, that we're talking about in treatment of depression or OCD, is there a medication that if you miss a dose, you die?
No, but it will make it worse, and that's maybe what they were trying to convey to her.
No,
If you don't
that's
stay
not what
with
I
your
was
medication, keep it at a blood level it needs to be, the disease can take over again.
Yeah, that's not what they're saying. They're saying you miss a dose, you die.
No, not at all.
That's not what I was told.
Yeah, okay, well, that's why we're giving you a fact check here.
And there could be some truth, because even before I arrived, when you said I can't hold on any longer and you were tired, it goes from a 4 to a 10, just with being tired, right? And what I noticed was a lot of kind of extreme thinking around illness, problems with you.
Because if you're sleep deprived, you have poor quality sleep, that can really, really cause fatigue and general malaise. That can really rob you of your energy, cognitively, physically, particularly if it's chronic. That can make it really difficult for you. And sometimes if you sleep too much, it can have the same effect of not sleeping enough, which can really drain you. All right, coming up, Lydia says she wants Lori to have the confidence to function without her. And my thoughts on that and on Kim's concerns about what happens in the distant future when we come back. You have no plan for the next 7 years being any different than the last 7 years, correct?
I don't know.
Exactly. You don't know. So I do have a plan.
I don't want to do it right now. Not right now.
Season 18 is underway. All we need is you. If you're going to be in the Los Angeles area and want to watch a live taping, visit drphil.com and click tickets. Tickets are free, and I hope to see you soon.
The problem with Dad back then was he was drinking and he was emotionally and verbally abusive.
Growing up, my dad was the tough love guy, and it was maybe a little too tough, which made my mom overcompensate.
I wasn't thinking about the consequences of what would happen if she latches on to me and I do everything for her. I was thinking of the pain that she's going through.
Since my parents' divorce, the relationship I have with my father is very good because I forgave him for the abuse. He's a very good father to me right now.
You say you want your life back, that you want to get back into the swing of things and enjoy your life. And I saw pictures of you with your husband, and you're grinning ear to ear, and you looked happy and vibrant. And I want that back. And if you want to change your life, then you have to behave your way from where you are to where you want to be. Do you agree with that? And, you know, Coach Mike, how do you approach this? How would you do this from a coaching standpoint with Lori? Not generally, with Lori.
With Lori, I would change the structure of Lori's life. So it would be someone, when she wakes up at 6 a.m., starting with a ritual that kicks off the day, writing out some goals for the day of what is going to get accomplished.
You're talking about with a life coach?
With a life coach, with a woman who comes by the house and starts to work through her goals. And we would start to make sure she gets to her doctor's appointments, really get a pulse on her medications, and make sure we're following protocols that are in her best interest, and start to arrange your life in such a way so that you're living your life and you're excited about your life.
I love it.
Because you're not going to do that on your own. You've shown that for 7 years.
Right.
Weeks turn into months, months turn into years. We're here 7 years later, and you have no plan for the next 7 years being any different than the last 7 years, correct?
I don't know.
Exactly. You don't know. So I do have a plan. What does that sound like to you?
When does this have to happen if I choose to do this?
Well, yesterday by noon. I mean, as soon as possible. What else have you got to do?
I don't want to do it right now. Not right now.
We'll be right back. Want to know what's coming up on Dr. Phil? Visit our website and subscribe to our email newsletter. You'll get weekly updates, life strategies, and exclusive video that you won't find anywhere else.
Plus, on drphil.com, you can see sneak previews of upcoming shows. Log on today.
I just described something to you that I think can sound really overwhelming to you.
That does sound overwhelming.
Oh, and listen, I get that. Trust me, I get
It's like
that.
somebody's watching me live my life, telling me what to do from the moment I wake up in the morning to the time I go to bed. I don't know if I can.
Yeah, which is exactly what you need, but.
I don't know if I can deal with that right now.
No, I understand, but.
I'm just being honest, I don't know.
No, and I am too. I'm being very honest. That's exactly what you need, because without that, you will continue to require so little of yourself that this year is going to slip by whether you're doing something about your life or whether you're not. And what you need to understand is that the role of a life coach is to meet you where you are, not asking you to meet them where they are. Meet you where you are and set a pace that you can handle. But it's got to be more than what you're doing right now. Because what you're doing right now is not getting you what you want. Do you get that?
Absolutely, 1,000%.
Now,
we've talked about it. It's absolutely true.
Those of you here in the audience, if I came to you and said, we're going to really polish up your life and you're going to have a partner in doing this, if that's something that would sound good to you, stand up right now.
I'm standing up right now.
All right, y'all can sit down because I'm not doing that.
Now I have to get back up.
But I am doing that for you. Here we go.
Well, he's more my type, Doc.
Yeah, okay. There we go.
Thank you.
All right. And what you're concerned about is being overwhelmed.
I feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, and I'm saying you don't need to feel overwhelmed because you're going to be comfortable with somebody and they're going to take this a step at a time where you go, I feel good about this. Let's build on this today. We'll add something to it next week. We'll add something to it next week.
I can't do it where the answer is not right now.
Yeah. I completely respect that you don't want to lose control of your life. And that's not what I'm telling you. Don't miss the fact that I said, you're in control here. We're going to bring you the help, and you guys are going to negotiate what you want to do at your pace, as long as it's more than what you're doing right now. We will meet you where you are and move at your pace. You're not losing control here. You're in control. Will you agree to meet with this person?
Come on.
All right.
Okay.
Do I have your commitment? Okay. All right.
Look at the audience.
Okay. And as for your concerns about this, I have a really good friend, Ann Margaret Carrozza. She wrote a great book called Love and Money, and she really specializes in estate planning. She certainly says it's important to not put 100% burden on one child. And that's why we're here saying, let's start doing this now. Let's get this balanced out now. So these girls can enjoy each other and their lives moving forward. Let's not wait until things change. Let's do things now. I want to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to Dr. Charles Sophie. Dr. Sophie, thank you so much. A special thanks to Coach Mike. Thanks for going over to their home and spending time with him. Coach Mike's New York Times best-selling book is Best Self, Be You Only Better. And by the way, everybody in the audience is going home with a copy. All right. Don't forget, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll see you next time.